This is a circuit diagram that I drew of a decimal to 7 segment display converter circuit. Specifically, my abbreviated version that uses only 36 diodes instead of the usual 50. It's because I combined multiple outputs with inputs. For example, I combined A, B, E, and F all together, so that way then I could use that for inputs 0, 7, 8, and 9, and that way it only takes 8 diodes instead of 16. After doing a few other combinations as well, then you can actually get the diode number down to 36. There could be a different combination of combinations that could possibly make it 35, but I think that's the lowest that you'll get. But here's what the circuit looks like in real life, not on paper. This is what it looks like once it's out on a breadboard with through-hole components. There it's displaying the number 3. You can see one of the segments is a little bit dimmer, so if you did have individual resistors that would take care of that. But yeah, this circuit does work. It is just the not digital way of converting from decimal inputs to a 7-segment display. So if you have a 4-digit display, you would need this circuit 4 times, which is just insanely complex. But it would look impressive if you managed to get all those wires out on the board without touching. But my original reason for finding this method is because I was planning on making a 9-segment display from decimal inputs, and that is still just an insane amount. I mean, 10 digits would be 500 with the normal method, but with mine it's only 360 diodes, which is still so many diodes. But I still might do that in a future video just because that would be an insanely large circuit and it would look very cool. So basically, to just zoom out and just explain on a broader scale what this is a circuit diagram, and all of these little arrows that you can see here are called diodes. They only allow electric current to flow one direction through them. So basically, talking from a logic standpoint, if you combine 2 or more of them with their outputs tied together, then that creates a multi-input logic OR gate, with the diode inputs being the inputs and the tied together output being the singular output. I have the clock input on the 4017 held high right now, so that is not counting. Ideally, you would have this 4017 connected to some sort of oscillator so that it's sequencing through the numbers. And also, ideally, you would have a resistor on every single segment input so that it would maintain brightness regardless of how many are lit. Now, I must note, my memory was a little bit off on this diagram because segments B, C, E, and F are actually F, E, C, and B, respectively. So that might make this confusing, but basically just replace those, and then this diagram will work.